Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Time to get back to work on old 1-ton. Now, if you recall from last fall's video where I left off on the truck, I made a mistake on this end cap for the rocker. It's on an angle, it sticks out too far. I've already stripped the fender off. You can see fender's off. Before I did that, I ran a piece of tape up the edge here, marked it 1/4 of an inch because there was a bit of a gap here. There's room back here, but up here is where it was too tight. So I marked 1/4 inch with a pencil, ran another strip of tape up, so it is on a taper, like 0 here, 1/4 inch there, and that'll be cut off on a bit of an angle like that. Replace the cap, paint it. It should be good, and I'll bring you along. Okay, so I don't make the same mistake twice. I'm going to set the fender back up, make sure it gets up to the hole where it's supposed to go, and then I should be able to just cap that with any luck. So fender's back on, and I got just a couple bolts holding it in place. You can see this gap's opened up here really well. It's still a little tight down here, so I think I need to shave just a tiny bit more off of it so that it looks more like it does right here, and then put the cap on. Oh yeah, see the holes lining up now? Wasn't lining up before, so we're close. One more trim. Okay, fender's hung back on for the last fitment. You see the hole is going to line up, no problem. This is pretty even up through here. Happy with that. Back in there, the original cap metal's still there. All I did was bump it in with a hammer, so I'll be able to weld and grind this up along this edge, and then just put a little sliver in there, and it probably will be just inside the cut as opposed to like just capping it on top. That's the deal with that, I think. So I get the fender back off and get that welded up and ground up, brings back. Patch is welded in, all ground up, and you can see that the heat got into the edge of the filler in the paint here. Not a big deal. I've got to put a little glass plus on the seam and around here, and this is if you recall, when I painted this the rockers, I put a texture on it, so all I have to do is make sure there's no loose bits here, sand that back, apply a primer, apply the stone guard as I did before, and base and clear. So I don't see that there's going to be an issue with that. So get busy, get some ABC Glass Plus on here and get this cleaned up. Time to catch us up again. ABC Glass Plus applied. Sanded it back with some 80. Went over it with some 220 and also feather edged a little bit to get the peely bits that I showed you earlier sanded back. So now I can put a little skim of body filler on here, and yeah, knock that down with some 220, and it'll be ready for some primer. Okay, time to catch us up again. Body filler was applied, scuffed with 80, finished off with 220, and I've got some red glaze on here, filling some of the heavier scratches because, you know, it's going to get a stone guard on that. The orange tape, this orange tape was just to keep me from, you know, going beyond where I needed to. So it was just a guide. Otherwise, I'd have sanded probably halfway down this rocker. But the repair is contained, so now I'll go over this red glaze once it's dry with some 320, scuffing back so there's a nice area, do a back mask, and put some primer on it. Time to catch us up again quick. Scuff back, 320, got a back mask going on. Got a hard line here, doesn't really matter, it'll be hidden by the fender. I'm gonna put some Transtar 2-in-1, try to just put it on the repair area itself, let that cure up a little bit, peel all the masking off, scuff it a little further back, remask it, and then put stone guard on. Oops, sorry guys, getting you all over the place. It's kind of like that. Nice. So I got everything all masked back up, ready to do the stone guard. And you can see the texture is still here where I sanded it. So really, I think just blowing some stone guard this way, down this little bit of the rocker right here, is all that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary to apply it up in here behind the door. It's not really going to be seen. And obviously the end here where the fender meets up, you know, you're not going to be able to see down in there either. So this is the only area. I'm just going to blow it off this way, and a couple coats, probably half hour between each coat because it does take a bit to dry. Yeah, make sure you hold the can way back while you're doing that, or it will get on there so thick that it'll never dry. So that's good. I'm gonna leave that for about half an hour and just give it another light coat. Alright, all set up, ready to spray some base. Good chance there's gonna be a little line here. Not much I can do about that. It's just too many layers of old material and new material. Is what it is. It's not a show truck. So base coat's hardened. Peeled the paper off. I scuffed it back about 4 inches here. The idea is I'm going to clear from here just over the new base coat, and then with the second coat come on up to here. I'm not too worried. You know, it was a unforeseen repair. Definitely going to have some transitioning and some lines and different things here. Is what it is. You know, otherwise it would have had to have redone the entire rocker just because of a mistake on the cap. So alright guys, fenders mounted back on. This hole now lines up. I just gotta push it over a little bit when I put the bolt in. The gap here, nice gap action going on there. Paint turned out pretty good. Got a little shadow here, not a big deal, but overall color's looking good. Unfortunately, no base clear footage because it just didn't turn out good enough to add into the video. I just couldn't get the shots that I wanted, so apologize for that. So this fender's good, this rocker's good. Hopefully the fender fits on the other side without any issue. I'll find out when I get it mounted. If not, I'm gonna have to do the same thing. But I think the next thing I'm moving on to is probably the passenger door here. I have a replacement door, needs a bunch of work done to it, so we'll be getting into that possibly in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, to the next one. Peace.